Okay, so this is a video for Shan, kind of a friend of the family, friend of my dad's. The guy's actually close to my age, a gamer, and definitely very much into gaming. Played them all. I think most recent one was the Star Wars Old Republic. And the Sith Lord almost killed him today. And you would think, well, he died, you die and resurrect several times in a game, and sometimes you're winning, sometimes you're losing, depending on how many times you got to die and resurrect and restart the game. One of the things that sucks you into MMO gaming is, it's great. It's great for sucking up a lot of time. If you're stuck on house arrest or something like that, it's probably one of the best things you could do, okay? You want to suck up a lot of time, go ahead and get into an MMO game. If you're stuck in the bad weather in the winter and there's nothing going on, you want to kind of get the cabin fever thing kind of negated, hey, get into a game, and it's great fun. I've spent a lot of bad weather days and nights at this system, but as you can see, this thing hasn't been running for a while. I burned it up actually a little over a year ago. A little over a year ago, I burned this machine out, basically. Was running this 32-inch TV as my monitor. Played a lot of StarCraft 2, played a lot of World of Warcraft, I played Star Trek Online a fair amount. Had been trying to get this joystick to work with Star Trek Online, because I had a hell of a time controlling the ship and dogfighting with the mouse. But so what happened is, this guy we know, he was probably spending about 16 hours a day gaming. And, it actually can hurt you in real life. And, try to warn him. Get out, get physically active. You got to get up away from the machine every once in a while, get physically active, get out and make some money. Now, I have subscribe to the multiple source of income model put out by Peter Lowe in the 1990s. I do multiple sources of income. Make a couple $100 off the YouTube videos. I make a few $100 off of each one of the corporations I contract work with. I do other work on the side. I sell stuff on Craigslist. I do different things to make a living, so that no single source of income, if it's cut off, will totally break me. It'll hurt me if one is cut off, but it doesn't totally break me. The problem with that guy was he got way too much into the gaming, and yes, you can be intensely into the gaming, but like any addiction, you have to know when to put it down. And when I was young and kind of exploring manhood, one of my uncles explained to me about, alcohol and drugs. I say, any idiot can pick up a bottle. It's a question of whether or not you can pick it down. Put it down, okay? It takes no special strength to pick up a cigarette or a joint or sniff a line of Coke. But it gets to the point where it does take a certain level of strength to put it down. Alcohol, okay? It takes a certain level of strength to put it down. And one of the ways you can test yourself, I test myself, I have a little liquor cabinet here. I have some stuff in here that wish I wasn't here. $1 a bottle, shit. This is barely cooking wine, but you keep a couple of good bottles. Like I keep a good bottle of Knob Creek here. I got a really good deal on it from back when Dart Liquors was still open. Believe it or not, $16.99 for that bottle. I pay about $35 nowadays. But the reason I leave it unopened, partly because it gains nothing to age it once it's in glass, but it's a proof to myself that I don't need to pick it up, and I know when to put it down. And I'll keep a little bit of cheaper alcohol for drinking sometimes, but I'll keep a couple of nice bottles in here just to prove I have enough self-control not to break into them, okay? And as part of proven manhood is self-control. And knowing that you can responsibly handle things like that and have them around and have self-control. And we don't think about that with MMO gaming as much because it's marketed, to the teen crowd, but a lot of adults are into it, okay? When I played World of Warcraft, I met a lot of people who were in their 50s. I thought I was the old man of Azeroth, and in reality, there were a lot of guys in their 50s on there. People in their A lot of people in their 50s are residents of Azeroth. And what happens, though, is it's kind of like, I think it was Confucius who said, if you spend too much time fighting demons, you become a demon. Well, maybe not. But one thing that happens is they actually can get a hold of you and harm you. And I'm going to have to explain how, for this friend of the family, Shan, I'm not going to use the last name, I'm not going to say what town he's from or any of this stuff, but I've seen a person's life deteriorate basically from, guy plays Star Wars Old Republic, he gained weight. The house smelled so bad from cat shit in the house because the cats will shit on the carpet, and then they, the guy won't get up and clean it up, they won't train the cats. It was a smell that when I went into their house, I could, it was difficult for me to be there because of the cat shit. They might see this video and get all mad that I say it, but listen, you might get an emotional reaction, but, if the cat shit's all over the floor, you got to do something about it. Not, okay, I got to reload my character, okay. And, I burned out my gaming machine a while back, and that was that. Now all of a sudden I started to become wealthier. All of a sudden I started to get more done in life. But what happened with this guy is he developed sores on his body, and I said, listen, how often are you bathing? How often do you, are you eating right? What's going on, man? And just recently he had a heart attack. And, I know why. He wasn't getting out and being physically active. Too much time at the game. And getting too wrapped up into it. And, lived in a situation where maybe the real world wasn't working very well for him. But he almost died from it. And basically it was, in a roundabout way, yeah, the Sith Emperor almost killed him. And, he was in doing the whole Star Wars lifestyle, Old Republic lifestyle, and not being active enough in the real world, and spending too much time in the virtual world almost killed him today. He had a heart attack. Dad was giving a ride to her from the hospital today, and just got to warn people that if you spend all your time in that world, it can reach into the real world and harm you. And that's what it is. It's not so much whether you beat Diablo or Mephisto in the Diablo series games, but the question is, did they beat you out of hours and hours of your time and do things to damage your real life? Did that happen? Did they beat you out of your time and damage your real life? Now, for this other guy who spent, I don't know, last couple of years, I knew him, that's all he did was play these games. Go broke, went on some sort of a disability or welfare, and that was his whole thing. And spent so much time in a chair, he was developing basically bed sores, chair sores from it. Gained weight, wasn't exercising, wasn't eating right, was living in a very filthy environment because of it. And, this is a messy desk. I'm in the midst of cleaning this stuff up, but part of the reason you don't even see the keyboard there is I don't even use this machine much anymore. I'm starting to do my uploads from the phones directly, and then I surf on another computer. And this one's actually going to get donated probably for spare parts. Yeah, Free Geek here in Portland, Oregon. And when I see somebody who almost died from gaming because he wasn't taking care of his real life, I've heard stories about it, but just today I found out it went with somebody I know. And so if you're not functioning with the real life, but you're really that much into gaming, hey, remember, step back, do some things in the real world, and understand that some of those demons and monsters and Imperial agents and all those types of things in the game, there is a crossover point where you've spent so much of your life in there that they can reach you in the real world in a roundabout way if you don't take care of yourself. And so that's the word of the wise right now.